The 2013 Disney animated film Frozen became a blockbuster hit as the 53rd Walt Disney Pictures movie. Telling the story of two sisters Elsa and Anna, the animated film was far different than any other Disney classic. Rather than a romance being front and center of the plot, the relationship and bond between the two orphan sisters were the main focus. Despite being told to conceal her icy powers, Elsa unfortunately sets the kingdom in Arendelle in eternal winter. Determined to help her sister, Anna sets out on an adventure that highlights the kids of family. 7 years since the first one's release and 2 years since the sequel, the musical fantasy continues to be a pop culture phenomenon among Disney fans of all ages. While the Influence Corporation is known for its pleasant, family-friendly atmosphere, there has been many instances over the course of existence where the studio has been known to push the bar on what's appropriate. The film's intentions may be illicit to fan an entertaining story of a magical princess, but the film has its fair share of dark elements. Whether it's straightforward or subtle, the wicked aspects of the film have been brought into question on more than one occasion by theorists and devoted Disney cult fans. These 15 dark facts about Disney Frozen will definitely have you seeing the film in a new light. There are just some things that you simply can't let go of. Before we start, if you guys find this video interesting, please let us know and smash the like button. If you enjoy the content of our video playlist and want to see more, just click subscribe and don't forget to turn the notification bell to get the latest updates. Number 14. A Villain and a Princess Duet. Say it isn't so. While Disney is infamous for its musical numbers that intertwine throughout the story to drive the plot, a duet between a villain and a princess is extremely uncommon. When the audience was first introduced to Hans, his charm overshadowed his twisted behavior, and just like Anna, we were all blindsided by his later betrayal. The instant love between Disney characters is a component that evidently never goes out of style. Rather than focusing on Anna's quick agreement of marriage to Hans, the fact that a protagonist sang a duet with a convincing villain is much more shocking. The hit song from Frozen are arguably catchy, but Disney takes it one step further when they proceeded to mix bad and good. Apparently to Disney, love is an open door of the arranged man who will stop at nothing, including murder, to wear a crown and rule a kingdom. Number 13. The film was inspired by Hans, Chris Andrus's The Snow Queen. The story of Frozen was never a random idea brought to life through animation. It was inspired behind Chris Andrus's story, The Snow Queen. Ever since the early 1940s, Walt Disney had been adamant about developing Anderson's story into a project for his studio. Anderson's story had many similarities that are reflected in the story of Elsa and Frozen. The 1845 fairy tale told the story of an evil witch who sets out to destroy a kingdom with a never-ending winter. Sound familiar? Seeing as the original plan of a Disney flick called for Elsa to be the villain, it's clear the studio was strongly pulling inspiration from the fantasy tale. Despite an early ambitious attempt to start animation, the concept was put on ice until it began to throw out in 2010, when it was once again announced that Disney would finally be executing the project for a 2013 release. After 7 decades of attempt, the Andrews-inspired film will be brought to life in true Disney fashion. Number 12. The death of Elsa's and Anna's parents. Fan theories for any film or franchise are not uncommon, and since Frozen's release, there have been many connections that fans have been making. Since the cameo of tangled characters Rapunzel and Flynn in Elsa's coronation, Disney fanatics have been trying to loose up ends at the death of Elsa's and Anna's parents. But in order to complete their theory, they brought another Disney film and another princess into the mix. Ariel, seeing as Germany, Norway, the coast of Denmark are the location settings for 3 animated films, Mickey Mouse conspiracists have pieced together a TV theory that binds the theory together. Many believe that Elsa and Anna are related to Rapunzel and that their parents were on their way to celebration of Rapunzel's return when their ship sank, which would mean that the ship Ariel sees in Little Mermaid is the ruins of their boat. Whether it's far-fetched or not, it suddenly gets the wheels in the head turning. Number 11. Kristoff's coat is made from Swim's mother. Disney may have a reputation for being family-oriented, but that doesn't mean they hesitate to include hidden dark and inappropriate messages within their films, and this one is probably one of the worst. Kristoff's outfit is made entirely of reindeer pelt. Although this may not seem bad at first glance, but there's more. Prepare yourself. The skin is apparently from Swim's mum. In order to make a thick new coat for the winter season, Swim's mum was sacrificed in order to provide the ice harvester with a warm coat to wear. This new development could be a further explanation as to why Swim and his owner are so close. Swim may be able to smell his mother off Kristoff's jacket knowing that Swim is an orphan. It would explain their close relationship as they both connected to the death of their parents. Number 10. The Illuminati References. In the other theories and supernatural references in Frozen were enough, there is another reference that has many fans believe the true intention of Disney. In the film, there are several images of triangle, which is an important shape in the world of witchcraft and symbol of the Illuminati, which will make sense considering Elsa's powers and spells. The Illuminati element in the triangle is hidden as it appears throughout the film and is used in spells. The triangle shape is additionally used in magic in order to transfer spirits over from the other side. which was documented with Olaf was brought to life thanks to Elsa. Another Illuminati reference occurs during Elsa's coronation ritual that resembles Freemasonry. This notion may be completely unintended by the studio, but many who follow supernatural aspects believe that it's quite obvious what the animation tends to communicate. Number 9. The death of Elsa's and Anna's parents. Take 2. As word spread regarding the theory surrounding the connection of 3 Disney animation films, it eventually presented with first directors Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee. When asked where Elsa and Anna's parents were going in the shift interview with Reddit AMA, the directors completely debunked their fan-created idea. While Lee said they were heading to a wedding, Buck insisted they didn't die on the ship. They got washed up on a shore in a jungle island. The queen gave birth to a baby boy. They built a treehouse. They even got eaten by a leopard. Did you catch that? Jungle Island, baby boy, death. Sounds like a lot like the story of another Disney animation film, Tarzan. Does this mean that Tarzan is Elsa and Anna's brother, and that their parents' death was a result of a leopard attack? Number 8. Elsa was originally a villain. After many years of Disney trying to adapt Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen into an animated film, the story was finally able to pinpoint the element of a story that would be a catalyst for launching the film's success. Early production plans called for Queen Elsa to be an evil ice cream witch instead. In place of her now signature long icy blonde locks, Elsa formerly had spiky blue hair to match her light blue skin. However, it was Elsa's catchy anthem, Let It Go, that inspired the film directors and screenwriter Jennifer Lee to rewrite the script in order to showcase Elsa's changing character. From here, the Snow Queen was in a modern way as the film was reworked to accommodate the trials and tribulations Elsa personally felt during her isolation as her abilities continued to grow. The team later discovered that Elsa's powers didn't make her a villain despite making bad choices while being in a challenging situation. Number 7. The Hexagram Snowflakes. Many have captured the images of hexagrams throughout the film that are illustrated in the snowflakes and the ice that Isa creates. The hexagram, also referred to as the Seal of Solomon, is used to control demons and spirits. Another element that would tie into Elsa's power, combining 2 triangles of the Star of David and Seal of Solomon, the seal could seize a magical to control separate elements and summon spirits, which is another explanation as to how Olaf was brought to life. While many of the hexagrams are difficult to locate, in many of the snowfalls and flying ice particles from Elsa's fingers, many fans have been able to capture intertwined triangles that are used to represent further supernatural aspects that are apparently shown throughout the entire Disney animation. Number 6. Elsa was almost based on Amy Winehouse, but the production said no. In the early stages of constructing the character of film of Elsa, the original plan was to make her much less appealing than she'd been in the film. Her powers moved or haunted as she had the ability to harm whether she liked it or not. Wanted to play on that element, Frozen designers began painting Elsa in a different light. One artist, Claire Klein, released drawings from the early stages of Disney's development, releasing the illustrations that were drawn in 2011. Klein explained the inspiration to the iconic character. Imagining that Elsa would have been dramatic mood-tweaked with a deep voice like soulful flair, she began creating the ice cream with an Amy Winehouse in mind. From the pictures, it's evident to see that Elsa would have been sporting the late Winehouse's famous updo and physical characteristics. However, in the end, Disney's production team went on in another direction that captured the original self-creation. Number 5. The inspiration for the trolls. Remember the friendly trolls from the popular Disney animation? Well, they weren't always cute and gregarious. In Androsyn's The Snow Queen, the trolls had a completely different look that would not be pleasant for children, or adults in that matter. In Frozen, the group of trolls appeared to have very outgoing and loving dispositions. Their apparent family-oriented beliefs were illustrated in their attempt to try and help cure Elsa from magical powers, and their warm welcome towards Anna, Kristoff, and Swern. Despite their positive characteristics, the trolls did experience moments of crudeness. Perhaps there was an element of Androsyn's fairy tale that translated over to this animation. Based on the picture above illustrating the story of the trolls, it's clear that they're much like Elsa. The trolls were given makeover to be less scary and more likable in order to appeal to younger viewers. Number 4. Anna was locked away for years. While some fans were highly entertained by Anna's Do You Wanna Build a Snowman?, the song was actually revealing a hidden message. The musical element was illustrating the attempts Anna made to connect with her older sister Elsa throughout the years. Beginning after Anna's incident, Elsa was shunned away from her room where she had no interaction with her sister. Through song, Anna sings of the pain and loneliness she feels not being able to play with Elsa. While the bud was located behind closed doors like a prisoner, Anna was treated like one as well. She may not have been locked behind her bedroom door, but the doors to the castle were closed. A large palace became a jail. Within the song, Anna showcases her learning activities and considered to be staring at the clock, watching time tick by. She even resorted to conversations painting on the wall. Even after the parents' death, the two sisters were still separated, only to be reconnected at Elsa's coronation. Which is another reason why Anna was so exuberant on her day. It was a day she could experience freedom. Number 3. The Murderous Undertones. It seems that Disney follows the same formula for the animated princess films: dead parents, instant love, and murder. Almost every clip from the studio is comprised of a video looking to reflect harm on the protagonist. In Snow White, it was the Queen Himalaya and the poison apple, and then the caption singing about his dead intention from building the beast. In Frozen, it was Hans when he drew his sword on Elsa and attempted to take over the King of Arendelle. He even attempted killing Anna by furthering her worsening frozen condition by shutting the blinds and putting out the fire in the library, where she would eventually die while he went out to kill Elsa. His plan backfired of course, but his evil intention of murder still continued to linger long after the credits rolled. Even in the early moments of the film, Elsa almost killed Anna by her powers while the two younger sisters were playing together. While the film focused heavily on the importance of family and a strong society alliance, unintentional murder was difficult to ignore. Number 2. Elsa's creepy snow creatures. During the moment of empowerment, Elsa experienced when she created her frozen palace where she was able to truly be herself. The icy bomb proceeded to create Marshmallow. Now while the name would be shooting the creature was sweet and a sugary treat, but that was far from the truth. The enchanted snowman is responsible for protecting the newly crowned Snow Queen in her new home of the North Mountain. The white beast is menacing with sharp blue fangs and spikes that adorn his body. While there's only one aggressive monster, the original plan called for 2 creatures to accompany the evil persona Elsa was first drafted to be. Despite being Elsa's sister, Marshmallow showed no remorse for Anna, and she started to speak with her sister at the New Kingdom, who proceeded to chase her down the mountain with the threat of death. Seeing as dark behemoth, it represents the darkest side of Elsa with emotions as she was to be alone. Does it mean that deep down inside Elsa wants Anna dead? It would make sense as Marshmallow showed no time to slow down when running off with his master's younger sister. Number 1. The threat of hypothermia. Prior to Elsa's inevitable meltdown, the Kingdom of Arendelle was once a bright and cheerful town, despite the King and Queen, the 2 daughters being locked away in the castle. However, once Elsa unleashed her frozen abilities during her outburst, the kingdom was left in devastating conditions. While Elsa was sticking to the plan by letting go of her powerful abilities to put herself in a nice castle, her former home was beginning to look identical to her fortress. The large amounts of ice and snow encasing Arendelle was putting all the citizens at risk of hypothermia. At the hands of the new queen, her people, even at the edge of experience and fighting death. Young audience members may have not caught on to the conditions of the kingdom, but the threat was still there. As Elsa pranced around her new digs wearing her new crown and hairdo, the concern for Arendelle escalated. Disney Frozen is indeed a movie that is loved by many young children around the world. Who doesn't love Frozen though, to be honest? Did you know these facts about Disney Frozen before watching this video? What facts surprised you the most? Are there any facts that we should add to this list that we missed out on? Let us know down in the comments. If you want to give your family a surprise gift for any special occasion, you can also share our website and look for creative from Double Gifts. This is Music Chest, your Disney Frozen fan, signing off.